Hey, beautiful souls, it's your girl. Oh, don't have the mic up to my mouth. All right, let's try this again. Hey, beautiful souls, it's your girl, Loveatiya, and welcome to today's episode of the Loveatiya Experience podcast. I'd be like, what kind of energy should I bring to my shows? Like, because I like listening to shows where it's like kind of mellow, and I don't like when I listen to shows and they're like super like ratchet or like upbeat, because sometimes I'm just not in that mood, but sometimes I am in the mood for that. And then sometimes I just want people to be kind of like, I don't know, more peaceful and quiet, but sometimes those fucking podcasts bore the shit out of me. So you know what I decided to do? I decided to just be my motherfucking self. Be how I am, who I am in the moment that I'm in it. So this is who I feel like I am right now. Welcome to another episode. I'm so excited to have y'all here. The last episode was so much fun. We talked about intimacy and non-goal oriented touch and senate touch. And so yeah, that was really exciting. I'm really excited to learn more about that in this episode. I found another article. I also am just so into trying to get partners to learn more about each other, because these are things that I'm going to practice when I have my partner. So yeah, we're going to do something called the 70 questions that you should ask your partner. It's a little exercise we could do that I found online. And then I'm sure that I have some story times for you. Oh yeah, today we're going to talk about all my fears. My fear of ketchup, vomit, caterpillars, and probably like one other thing that I can't remember right now, but those are like the three prominent ones. So we're going to talk about all of that and see where this episode takes us. You may be watching this video because, you know, we have video now. I just feel the need to mention that so you can catch us on YouTube, okay? And I'm thinking about doing something to where, like, if you want to watch the first 5 episodes on video, because they're like kind of uncensored. Like, I have not re-edited them since I posted them on my first membership page. I don't know. I think I want to do a membership page maybe at the beginning of the year. We'll try that for January. But my point is that I just want to have some like exclusive content on there, like shit that I didn't feel like editing out in the first couple of episodes, etc., etc. With that being said, my headphone is broken, so this is a facade. If I let my hand go, it just kind of, if I move enough, it's gonna fall off. So I'm just gonna take it off now. But with that being said, I feel like I keep saying that, right? With that being said, all right. Is that my new like? We're going to work on that. But yeah, I'm really excited to get into this episode. So let's just dive on in. What would y'all want to see? Like, if I had a membership page, like, what would you want? All right, y'all. This episode is going to be completely uncensored except for the last part that I just deleted. All right. So anyways, I was saying that I wanted to have a little behind the scenes tidbits for my members to where you can hear stories like, for instance, the guy that came down to Mexico and I met him and, you know, we did something, and I want to tell y'all what we did, but I can't tell y'all because this is a general public platform. So I want to wait until I have a membership page to be able to share this with y'all. So anyways, I just want to know what y'all want from me when it comes to my membership page. What would y'all pay for? What do you expect? What kind of access do you want with me to be able to have? Yeah, let's figure that out, because I want some exclusive shit. Like sometimes I have so many stories I want to tell, but I just can't tell them here in like a public platform. So yeah, we'll stay tuned for that. With that being said, numbers keep going up. Numbers keep going up on a Tuesday on Instagram. Shout out to everybody who follows us on our podcast page and my page. You can follow me at Loveatiya on Instagram. If you're not following me at this point, like, come on. And then you can follow the podcast at the Loveatiya Experience podcast. I'm also on TikTok now, so you can follow the podcast page of the Loveatiya Experience pod. Well, it's just the Loveatiya Experience or the Loveatiya Experience podcast. You'll see the other page. But yeah, they've been literally only giving me like 0 to 2 views on every video on TikTok. So guess what I did? I deleted the app because fuck them. Now, I also, in this episode, want to talk about starting a sex toy company, because I told y'all about that in the last episode and a couple episodes before that, and all of the things that are getting in my way when it comes to that. Because then when we do launch the company, I'm looking forward to coming back to this episode and seeing all of the trials and tribulations that I had to overcome and fight through to be able to get to where I am today. Okay, so with that being, y'all heard it? With that being said, wow, that's my new thing. Yeah, stop that. All right, so first thing first, let's talk about my random fears. I don't know, I just want to talk about those. And then we'll get into the 70 sex questions to ask your partner. And then we'll talk some more about sensate touching. Another thing I do just want to mention is these things I'm talking about at the end of the episode are great for people who do struggle with dissociation. And we're just trying to get find ways to get more comfortable with ourselves, with our bodies, and with our partners, that we do not have to dissociate when having sex or being intimate with somebody. But this is also for couples who might have been in a relationship for a long time and just want to spice things up. You could also play the game, the 70 questions, with your partner, but guess. So we'll get back to that. But yeah, you can literally guess. If you feel like you know everything about your partner already and you've been with them for a long time, like, you can make it a game. But yeah, my goal, I've just been trying to stay more goal oriented on this podcast and just think like it's more than just telling stories. It's about sharing my life. This is my own personal diary. Like I said, I want to feel like a voice note that you're receiving from a good friend. But I also just want to make sure that y'all are learning stuff and feeling more connected to yourselves and to your partners, or to whomever, to the world, by the end of the episode. So let's dive into my fears. So I'm going to start from the most irrational fear to a very, very fucking rational fear, all right? So the irrational fear that I had when I was younger was I was scared of ketchup, meaning I did not want to sit next to you if you had ketchup on your plate. And this is how I should have known I was autistic. This is exactly how I should have known. And granted, like, kids have like fears and stuff all the time, but the way that I would react if like my mom had a plate of fries on it, but it had dried up ketchup, don't push that my way, woman. Like, I don't want that. Like, little things like that should have just shown me that I was definitely on the spectrum of some sort. And I love that about me. I really do. I just hated it. If, like I said, if my mom would eat a fry with ketchup and then drink some juice from a straw, I would not share the same straw as her. If my dad would cook, like I said, and put ketchup on his plate, like, I just couldn't. I just could not deal with the smell. I never tasted it before. It was just a smell. If I smell, I cannot sit next to you if you're eating it, because I will then not want my food. That's how bad ketchup was to me. Like, I don't want it. And I have an uncle who was scared of mayonnaise to the point where he literally would get chased around the house with a spoon of mayonnaise, like, because like that was his fear. So it never got bad enough to the point where I think I got chased with ketchup, but I definitely do know that I had a fear of it. And that probably lasted until I was about maybe 12. And I remember I was in McDonald's, unfortunately, because if you know me, you know I do not eat McDonald's. And if you still eat McDonald's, you probably shouldn't watch my podcast. If you are a McDonald's eater, we're going to have a talk about that, motherfucker, all right? I tried to be the angry vegan, but even before I was vegan, I wasn't fucking with McDonald's. And if you don't know, I have no problem telling you why. But we will get to that at another point in the episode. But unfortunately, on my lower vibrational days, I was at McDonald's, and I think it was my mom. Could have been my dad. I don't even want to say who, but someone was there with me and was like, well, just try it. And then I took a fry and I put a little bit of it and I ate it. And it wasn't that bad. And it's crazy because I used to fake eating sauces, right? Because I told y'all I have a texture problem. I told y'all this is why I do not like semen in my mouth, because of my texture problem. And that includes like marshmallows. If I eat like 2 marshmallows, I'm gonna get nauseous because like, ugh. And then applesauce, like I can't eat a spoonful of applesauce. It's just like, oh God, no, I need like a tablespoon. What else? Even like milkshakes, if it's a hot milkshake. And I was thinking the other day, that's why I don't like semen. I was thinking that the other day, because if semen came out cold, maybe it would be a different experience. Like, it'd be like, refreshing. But if it comes out hot and warm, and I don't want warm semen on my face, in my mouth, down my throat, no thank you. So just a random thought I had about semen the other day. But yeah, I ended up like, I used to like sauces, and I would take like, say, a french fry, and I would dip it into an imaginary sauce, and like if you're watching on the video, you'll see like I try to like make sure the sauce doesn't drip. The imaginary sauce, yeah. So I would do shit like that. So it's not like I was anti-sauce. I loved sweet and sour sauce. I just had a fear of ketchup and the smell of it. So that was the first one. The second one was a fear of caterpillars. This one had me going on hikes through the woods with full-on sweaters, jeans, tube socks up to like knee socks, boots, probably like a head wrap or a hat or something like that in case they were falling from the trees. But no, yeah, I really have always had this very deep fear of caterpillars. And it used to be worms. It definitely used to be worms. So I remember when it would rain and the worms would come out, I would not want to be like walking near the worms. But the caterpillars, I've had several different instances with caterpillars, right? So it's not just some random ass fear. Like, I remember each instance vividly. Like, for instance, unfortunately, like I said, back in my lower vibrational days, I went to the zoo. And when I went to the petting zoo, I remember, I don't know what made me do this, but I went to go put my hand like underneath my chin and like rest my hand on like one of the pylars that come up from the ground, like that, like the gate. You know, the gate has like these things that hold the gate up. So the thing that was holding the gate up, I went to go put my hand on it, and I think my mom or my dad was like, no, don't put your head down. And I looked, and it was a caterpillar, and it was a black caterpillar with yellow fuzz. And I remember my mom used to say that she would see those back in the day all the time. So like, why do I remember that it was a black caterpillar with yellow fuzz? I don't know, but it almost took my head off. It didn't, but it felt like it at the time, because what the heck? Another time we had gone to Florida, and me and my mom have two different accounts of this situation. But in my account, there was this gift shop, and on the outside, we went to some resort in Miami, I believe. And on the maybe it was Orlando, because I remember we did go to Disney at one point. But on the outside of the resort, it was all of these little fuzzy brown caterpillars with red eyes. I swear to everything I love. And it was like 5,000. No, they literally were like, if you're from Florida, do y'all know what I'm talking about? Like, have y'all seen those? Like the abundance of caterpillars on windows and shit. So then if you go in the gift shop and you look on the wall, you would literally see like there's suckers on the window. Like, I'm coming to eat your blood. That's how it felt. So y'all, like, it's not an irrational fear. Like, these motherfuckers were haunting me. These motherfuckers ain't stopping me. Isn't that Beyonce song? But then there's another instance where I did get chased by this girl. She knows exactly who she is, and I, you know, I have a lot of lesbian trauma in my life. I really will say, like, a lot of the lesbians in the day, like back in the days when I used to go to camp and shit like that, like, they would traumatize me, y'all. And I cannot believe that I am now to this day a lesbian / bisexual. At this point, I'm nothing because I don't like anybody. But yeah, there was this lesbian woman. She's my friend. So I don't know why I call her this lesbian. Like, I still have her on social media and stuff like that. She's a cool person. But she fucking chased me around with a caterpillar in her hand. It was black and white and had stripes. And I remember I was jumping on tables. I was Usain Bolt in that bitch. Like, you are not catching me. So there was that. There was another time that I was at camp, and there was this huge caterpillar, probably the size of like my hand. No, like the size of my hand to my middle finger. And it was green with blue and red spots. That didn't do anything to me. Like, there was no close encounter. I actively went over to it because I saw everybody else looking at it, but it was just so fucking gigantic. There's another instance where I was working at a camp as a counselor, and back in the day, that's when I was a camper. But when I was working at the camp as a counselor, like, I don't know why I feel like it's so strange for me to speak nowadays. I might need to get my wisdom teeth pulled. I know I do, but I don't want to. But I will. Beginning of the year. But anyways, I think I just talk too fast. I think that's what it is. But I was a counselor, and I think that one of the kids had brought a caterpillar over to us, and it was a big, fat, chunky green one. And I was like, whoa, what are you doing here? And then when we first moved to Mexico, the most fucked up part, I told y'all that the first 3 months of Mexico were like hell, right? Like, it was a lot of shit to adjust to. It was a lot of detoxing of New York, of America, and I was just depressed. But the second week we were here, I got a text from my mom, and she was like, hey, I just want to give you a warning. And I'm like, oh shit. And she's like, there are caterpillars downstairs, like just in the hallway area. And I was like, okay, I will not let this ruin my experience at all. I love it here. So I ended up being brave, and of course, like, in the middle of me being in Walmart, I'm like Googling caterpillars that are in Mexico. Like, what is the season? Are they poisonous? Of course, the ones that were downstairs from us were poisonous, but not necessarily poisonous. Just like, I'm sorry, y'all, my top was so high. I'm like, this is not how this is supposed to look. But yeah, they weren't like poisonous to the point where they would kill us, but they would definitely give us a rash. It was just a lot. And they were scary looking. They were like orange and had these like black spikes on them. They were not the cute caterpillars, but they were cute. So I'm trying to find ways to be better. I kind of skipped a step though, because old me would have never walked downstairs again, right? Like, old me would have never, I would have never left my house again knowing that there were caterpillars downstairs, or the chance of a caterpillar being outside my house. I feel like there are even more instances that I have of caterpillars that I'm about to, there was one where there was one on me, and that was my final straw. I was at a Girl Scouts event, and we were in the park. It was like the last day of Girl Scouts. I wonder if my friend Tori remembers this, because I feel like it was that Girl Scout troop. But now that I think about it, maybe it was my other Girl Scout troop. Tori, if we ever went to the park, then let me know. But I was at the park and they had inchworms. And if inchworms fly like from one destination to the next, like from the tree to your pants, which is what happened to me. So an inchworm literally flew from the tree to my pants. It was long, and they took forever to get it off of me. Thank God I had on jeans, even though it was a 90-degree day. I knew because I was going to the park, and I told you I never went to the park or to the woods unprepared. There'd be times that my dad would take me on like camping trips with like this group that he worked with the youth, and I would stay in the car because I'm like, I just saw one of them fucking caterpillars down on the street. I'm not getting out of here. I'm not going out of here. I just literally saw one. So yeah, I would let caterpillars ruin my life to a certain extent, and I wouldn't do certain things. I was not one to go on hikes. That was not my thing. Now I feel like my shirt is too low. Like hold on, y'all. I literally have to tie my shirt back up because it's about to be a nip slip. It's about to be a nipple slip. So yeah, that was a thing. And then eventually I think I just got tired of it holding me back. Ironically, I think that I had my least amount of caterpillar experiences in Georgia, although I do know that we did have that infestation. It's not an infestation because it's their trees, but of those black caterpillars with the yellow on them, like they resurfaced in my life again. But I started doing some research because I felt like it was so intense of a phobia that I had to like have some underlying meaning behind it. And the underlying meaning was actually that I was scared of, what do you think I was scared of? I was scared of growth. I was scared of my metamorphosis. I was scared of letting go and moving on and letting go of things that no longer serve me. And so when I started doing research on caterpillars, I decided that I just needed to just learn more about them, right? And maybe they would seem less scary to me and less alien because they just seem so alien. So, and I'm not like that with every single insect. I'm not the best. Moving to Mexico has definitely helped me become better at being around insects and, dealing with that. But I'm just saying I'm not. Anyways, I've Googled and learned that, first of all, the first thing I learned was that they have 4,000 muscles. And then immediately I just kept imagining every single caterpillar as the Incredible Hulk. Every caterpillar was the Incredible Hulk to me. I'm like, no, because four fucking thousand. And I'm like, was it 40,000? But I think it was 4,000. I just remember thinking like, how can 4,000 of anything fit into this one little green body? But then I started doing more research and learned that in order for a caterpillar to become a butterfly, they have to go through an extensive, excruciating process of letting go of things that no longer serve them. For instance, they literally turn into caterpillar soup in their cocoon, and they'll I don't even know how to describe, they basically destroy themselves from the inside out, and then are able to form wings from what they've regurgitated within themselves. They only keep, I think, their antennas, their eyes, maybe not even antennas. They keep their eyes and like their little feet or something like that. I don't know. They keep something, or like two of their legs. Like they only keep a small. I'm gonna research it and like bring it to you in the next episode. But they just go through a lot. And so I just realized that, I thought it was pretty symbolic that I had a fear of caterpillars when I also had a fear of growing. At the time that I discovered this caterpillar phobia, I definitely was stuck. I definitely was in a place of stuckness. I definitely was in a place of not being able to love myself the way that I wanted to love myself. And yeah, so I was really, really grateful to discover that helped take some pressure off. And then I also started doing small things too, like when I would go outside and I would see a caterpillar, I would think to myself like, oh, he's so cute. Wow, that one's really beautiful. Or like, oh, you did so much to get to where you are today, and like all the elements, and you better eat that tomato, just trying to think positively and literally say, oh, you're so cute when I would see them, and even have compassion. Like if I would see them smash, be like, oh no, like that makes me so sad. Like, like I don't want to see them be destroyed. That's really fucked up. I think the other thing that scared me about caterpillars was the fact that I couldn't destroy them. Like, and I know I just said I don't want to see them destroyed, but an ant, I can unfortunately with the press of a thumb kill an ant, and I tried my hardest not to. I swear, I love ants. I have major respect for them, but things that I can't necessarily confidently remove from me or from my own vicinity, that just would fuck me up. So yeah, that was my fear of caterpillars in a nutshell. I could talk about it some more with my mom as well, because she could probably recount some other things, but I definitely remember like even going on hikes back in the day. There was this rainbow caterpillar. It was like a rainbow grub because we used to do these 14-mile hikes back at this camp that I went to, and I remember from that moment that I had seen the grub, I was no longer paying attention. I was looking at the ground from here on out, slightly dissociating, but associating enough to be able to look at the ground and see if there were bugs around me. It was just a lot. And so I just, and like, the thing that I realized was a lot of people didn't have caterpillar shit happening to them. Like, a lot of people did not have these instances. They weren't even seeing the caterpillars when I was seeing them. And I'm like, well, what the fuck is that about? Like, is that just some controversial shit? Are they out to get me? Which is when I realized, that's when I started saying, like, it has to be a symbolic thing because no one else is encountering these caterpillars the way that I am. Nobody's even seeing them or paying attention to them the way that I am. As opposed to people who are scared of spiders, they'll probably see spiders more than I do, you know, if you have actual, like, arachnophobia. I feel like there was one more thing that I wanted to share. Oh, and it was butterflies. So butterflies are part 2 of a caterpillar, right? And my fear also stemmed from the fact that I feel like butterflies were always chasing me. They were not paying any attention to anybody else, but they would chase me. And I realized that it's my grandma. And so in Atlanta specifically, there are these yellow and black monarch-looking butterflies, and they're humongous, but they would always fly after me. And at a point, I just decided to finally embrace them. There are the blue versions too, but I haven't seen the blue version in a long time. But that's why I ended up getting my can you see my butterfly tattoo? I want to put my arm up, but I haven't shaved. But I guess we can be unapologetic, or I can block it with my mic. Okay, yeah, there it is. That's my butterfly tattoo. And then I have a dragonfly tattoo that represents my grandma, my other grandma as well. But my point is that I just had to try to find ways to cope with these encounters with these bugs that I had no control over. And it just gave me a lot of respect now when I see butterflies and caterpillars. Oh my God. But I do want to mention this story. The other day, I was missing my grandma a lot. And this was the only grandma that I had ever met in person in this lifetime. And I'm sure that I've encountered my other grandma and my great grandma in other lifetimes. And, you know, there are so many different things that I'm unraveling when it comes to, even now, like now that my mom's mom has passed away, I feel like she's like a direct connection to me and my other grandma. But I don't know why I just feel so close to the both of them now. And I've always felt close to my other grandma, my dad's mom, who I didn't get a chance to meet, but it's like a really deep closeness now with them, and I really appreciate that. Not to get sentimental, but I did miss my grandma a lot. I just missed hearing her voice. I missed her touch. I missed her hugs and her kisses and her humming and all of that. So I was just sitting in bed one day and I was like, well, I really miss my grandma. And I was like, well, let me just feel it. And so I felt it. And then I was leaving my house and then I just closed my eyes and just had a moment. And like, I heard her speak to me, and that was very helpful. And she was like, you know, I'm always going to be here. And then I was leaving the house like maybe the next day, the day after that. And I look down and I see a butterfly wing. And my first thought was like, oh my God, the poor butterfly. Like, I hope that he's okay or she's okay. Because like, he's literally walking around wingless now, or like without one wing. Like, how must that be? But after I went down that rabbit hole, I said, oh my God, this is so beautiful. And like, how divine is this? So I looked up what it means when you find a butterfly wing at your door. And I want to read it verbatim, but it's on my phone. I wonder if I can just get it real quick on my computer. Let me see. I'm going to Google it. What do butterfly wings represent? Okay. No, this is not. This is, oh yes, the best symbolic meaning of a single butterfly wing. Because the thing I thought was so crazy was that yep, this is it. It almost looks just like this butterfly wing that they're showing too. Okay. It says, they had it broken down for specifically in Mexico though. Okay. Significance of finding a single butterfly wing in different cultures. Mexican culture. In Mexican culture, butterflies hold profound symbolism, particularly during the Day of the Dead celebration. During the sacred time, it is believed that the spirits of departed loved ones return to Earth to be reunited with their families. Butterflies are seen as an embodiment of these spirits, carrying messages of love, remembrance, and guidance. Finding a single butterfly wing holds significant symbolic meaning within this context. When a person discovers a single butterfly wing, it is seen as a direct connection to a departed loved one who has come to visit and communicate with them. The butterfly wing represents the presence and essence of the departed soul. It serves as a reminder that their loved one is nearby, watching over them and offering comfort and support, and it is viewed as a special moment of spiritual communication and a reaffirmation of the eternal bond between the living and the deceased. The discovery of a single butterfly wing during the Day of the Dead celebration can evoke a range of emotions, including joy, love, and even a sense of peace. It signifies that the departed soul is present and is actively participating in the festivities, bridging the gap between the spiritual realm and the earthly realm. And I'm so excited because I get to spend Dia de los Muertos down here, the Day of the Dead. It's the day after Halloween. So yeah, I'm so grateful to have come across this. This is from goldencelestial.com. But yeah, that was really enlightening, and I felt like it was just such a sign. Y'all also might be confused because I know I said that my dad's mom is the butterfly and my grandma on my mom's side is my dragonfly, but they are all very much so interchangeable. They are all very much so things that fly. So if something flies and I feel that I get my grandma's spirit from it, that's my grandma. Even if it's a lightning bug, I don't care. So yeah, but I just thought that was really symbolic, and I'm really grateful. And it was orange wing, and orange is our favorite color, so that was that. So that's basically how I cured my phobia of caterpillars. You know, I remember one time a caterpillar was literally on the floor. I lived on the like 4th or 5th floor of my apartment back in Atlanta, one of the many apartments I had, so it doesn't really matter. But I was living with my boyfriend at the time, and it was literally on our floor. I said that to say, like, we didn't live on the first floor where, like, a caterpillar should just be there. You know, like, I don't know how the hell it got there, but I remember I got off the elevator, and it was a literal caterpillar right there on my floor right after I got off the elevator. So that was definitely a sign, and that caterpillar was telling me to get the fuck out of the relationship, and I definitely ignored that sign. Maybe I didn't though. I think I broke up with him shortly after that. But I do remember he got his slide, and he came out and he got the caterpillar on it, and we were just looking at it, and then we took it downstairs to like the what's it called, the garden area, and I was like, I just had the courage to touch its butt. I was gonna give my boyfriend the credit and say that he suggested that I touch it, but I don't know. It might have just been me being courageous, so I'm gonna give myself a credit. But I touched its butt, and that was so fun. I hope that sounds like I sexually assaulted a caterpillar, and I swear I didn't sexually assault the caterpillar. But well, ask him. You know, we should definitely ask the victim, because my account as a perpetrator, yeah, perpetrators always gonna say that their victim didn't mind. So not to get deep on a caterpillar, but my point is I touched a caterpillar. In my mind, I'm like Eliza Thornberry, so we consensually agreed telepathically that was consensual. Now, let's get into my fear of vomit. I don't even want to talk about it, but I'm going to talk about it because I feel like it's a way for y'all to learn more about myself. But first I want to sit up because I don't know. September rain. So my fear of vomit, the only like symbolic thing that I can think when it comes to that is a fear of letting go. Like, you know, like when I really sit here and think about it, I'm like, that's the only thing that I can really think that could explain why I have such a visceral reaction. So the other things that I had, like the ketchup, the caterpillars, I feel like the caterpillars was a phobia, but it was one that I healed from. Vomit, there's actually a name for it, and it's called emetophobia. And emetophobia is literally the fear of vomit. When I talked to my therapist about it, she said that basically I can handle it the same way that I handle having like an anxiety attack or a panic attack. But I really do think that I need to speak to a specialist who focuses specifically on phobias. Because even when I mention it to people, they themselves get grossed out. You know, I'm not saying that I ever want to like vomit. You know, I'm never going to be the girl that can like, I don't even want to say that. I guess because I'm so on one end of hating it, I guess I do eventually just want to like it so I don't have to run from it. But I don't want to be like utterly disgusted by it. But at the same time, I'm like, why are we all not utterly disgusted by this? Like, the same way that they don't show people taking shits on TV should be the same way that they don't show people vomiting on TV. And now that I've mentioned it, you're going to see, because it's crazy. I had a friend who I told her I had a fear of vomit, and she didn't even realize how much vomit was in TV until she met me. And she was like, damn, like I was watching shit thinking like, oh, like Atiya, every time I would see a scene with vomit, like, oh my God, like she would hate this show because it has so much vomit in it. And these shows at this point, it's not even, they don't have one vomit scene. They don't have two vomit. They'll have 3 jump scare vomit scenes. It's mad quiet. Next thing you know, somebody throwing up in the toilet. Like, where'd that come from? Where did that come from? So anytime somebody is either pregnant on a show, competing like vigorously, like to where they can work out so hard that they throw up, or if they're overeating, or if they have like the flu, or if they're hungover in a scene, I literally would either have my remote in my hand with my finger on mute, look around everybody on mute, or I would have my finger on my mute on my computer, like waiting. And this, you know, y'all probably think, oh, that's mad. That's doing a lot. Like, you're really doing a lot. But tell me why I've caught several scenes before they've happened. Like, I've just known in my gut to mute it. I don't know what the fuck that's about, but my point is there is definitely an oversaturation of vomit. Please, somebody clarify, like verify this with me if you see this clip. Like, is there an oversaturation of vomit on your TV? Because there is on mine. Why must there be 4 scenes in one fucking season with somebody throwing up? If somebody gets chemotherapy, 9 times out of 10 they end up getting sick on the show. Like, I cannot watch so many TV shows because of all of the possibilities of people vomiting. And a lot of people don't know that I go through this. I can't lie, y'all. It's a little bit embarrassing. Like, it really is. I've worked on every other phobia. I forcibly had to work on this vomit phobia for a second, and then I stopped because I just got so overwhelmed. And even like psychologically, I know that it's a brain thing because I can't see it, smell it, touch it, look at it. I don't want to do it. I will give myself credit because I have gotten sick, say like from a hangover or from a stomach virus, and I've been able to take care of myself. You know what I'm saying? And I've been able to like my mom helped me have certain thoughts in my head, like, okay, I just have to purge, I have to get this out. Because back in the day, I used to fight it. Like, if I felt like I was gonna vomit, I would fight it so hard because I just didn't want to have the act. And now I'll talk to my body and be like, okay, we have to get this out because something's not sitting right, you know. And now I'll let it naturally come out. I've never been one of the finger down the throat kind of girl. I remember this girl accused me of being anorexic. I'm like, bitch, I hate vomit, so how does that work? Then I learned there are other forms of anorexia, but still, I think she probably was thinking bulimia because I think it's the one where you purge. But anyways, I say all that to say that, yeah, I can't. Even now, like I talking about it makes me want to dissociate, but I'm gonna hang in there because y'all deserve all of my associations. But even like this last, I went to an event. It was for Virgo season, and there's this guy. I think he had to have been drunk before he got there, based on our interactions. Like, I was filming I was taking a picture of myself, but I kept my camera on. And he came over to me and he was like, "You're taking a picture of me?" I was like, "Huh?" And he was like, "You were taking I thought if you want to take a picture of me." And I was like, "Oh yeah, let's take a picture," because you know I'm friendly. That's how we are here. So I'm like, "Oh, cheers." And he was like, "Okay, that's enough." And I was like, "Would you just ask me to take a picture?" Okay. And then I was sitting in the pool. We were talking, and he came over to me and was like, "So where are you from?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm from New York." And then we were talking some more, and then he was like, "Son, where are you from?" Like 10 minutes later. And I was like, first of all, he had something white right here on his lips, so that was fucking me up. But I was like, I just told you. Like, I'm sorry. My tolerance that day, my social meter that day was so low. But I say all that to say he ended up literally, like, I was in the pool. He was sitting in one of like the chairs by the pool. And one of the girls girls that was at the party was like, "Oh, he about to blow. I already know what that looks like." And literally, like, he was just drooling excessively, like leaned over, like totally out of it. And so immediately when I found out that he was throwing up, I put both fingers in my ears. And if I like say that right now, like, I don't have both hands available, so I will literally put my elbow on my head like this, and I'll put my hand like this. And sometimes I'll be like, la, 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 so I don't have to hear it because I don't want to hear the vomit. Like, I don't. Sometimes I'll do things within me, like I'll like I don't know, I'll make noises like I'll hum. If I'm not in a space where I can la la la, I'll hum. But I remember like one time I was in the movie theater with my mom. I'm so sorry to her. And a vomit scene happened, and I was like, ah. She's like, "Tia, you can't do that." And I was like, okay. I went to go see Bullet Train with the guy that sexually assaulted me, and this is before the sexual assault, but he fucking, like, there was mad vomit, and I was not trying to be cute, so I was definitely covering my ears, but like, to not be able to do the la 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 la, because I understand that's rude for the rest of the people in the audience, like, it was just overwhelming. My point is that homeboy was throwing up at the party for a good 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours, like, didn't go home. somebody had to force him to go to the bathroom. And then I realized that I had not been to an event since then. And I'm like, well, damn. I mean, one, I understand that I've had some fluctuations in money happening. So the pockets ain't pocketing. You know what I'm saying? I can't be going out like that. But on another hand, it's like I wonder if I had some PTSD from him. I've been to so many of these events thrown by this group here, and I've never experienced anything like that. So I don't think that it would be that. I really think it's just me being frugal, but yeah, the vomit thing is bad. I've had other experiences where I had a friend who drank too much and started throwing up. Before we got in the car, she started throwing up. And then we were at the club and she was staying in a hotel and I had to drive her back to her hotel. And then we got in the car and she started throwing up. I remember, what do I remember? There was this car of guys. And she got mad at me because I told them that she was sick. And she felt like I made her vulnerable. I'm like, bitch, I wasn't gonna leave you with them. Like, I just was like, my friend is sick. Like, I don't fucking know. I'm panicked, bitch. You're throwing up and I hate that shit. So I remember we were driving and she had to open up the windows and was literally throwing up outside of my car while we were on the highway, and I had to like blast music so I didn't hear it. There's another instance where I went to this photo shoot. We were at this photo shoot for 4 hours, y'all. And I only got like 10 to 15 pictures. I think this is when I started my photography company because of this one instance. But she was like, oh yeah, like I have to take a shit out of nowhere. The photographer went in the woods, took a fucking shit at the end of our photo shoot, and it was like, oh, you can go ahead. So I kept walking. And then she comes up the path, literally like actively, like violently throwing up, and then sat in my car, violently throwing up, and then got out of my, and then so I went somewhere else. Like I went walking, and I was literally willing to call her an Uber. Person who paid for the photo shoot was gonna pay for you to get into an Uber to get the fuck out of here because I cannot drive you home. I didn't even care about getting my pictures at that point. I just wanted to leave. She ended up, I wonder where she's at in life, but she ended up because she was like a really popular person back in the day in the photography scene, at least in my mind when I first moved there. Maybe not, but she ended up throwing up, and then she started blacking on me. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, get me home. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, cursing me out. Bitch, you're throwing up in my car. Like, I don't want to be near you. She's like, I'm not even throwing up anything anymore. Like, there's nothing else to throw up. So then I ended up getting in the car, being mad scared. Thank God she only lived like 5 minutes away. But that was 5 minutes too fucking far for me. And she got out the car, y'all. Why the fuck is my seat wet? Like, she got diarrhea juice on my seat. And then she had the nerve to be mad at me. Went off on me via text. I think it was like, wow, that was really fucking fake. You just left this, that, and third. Bitch, I literally took your laptop. I took your camera. I took everything that you had in my car, put it inside your house while you was at the toilet. What am I supposed to do? Sit here and wait for you while you're sick? No, we are not friends. This is a business endeavor, and at this point, our business is done. Let me know if y'all think that was fucked up. I don't expect anybody to stay and take care of me, especially if you don't know me. And I don't even like being around people when I'm sick. Like, my mom be trying to take care of me when I'm sick. I'm like, no, I don't want you even around me because I just don't want you to see me in this state. And I don't want you to be grossed out because I know I won't be grossed out. And I know I can't do quid pro quo with you. So, yeah, there was that. Like I said, only got 15 of the fucking 400 pictures that we took that goddamn day for that 4-hour photo shoot. Trying to think, my mom got sick one time and I totally abandoned her so bad to the point where I slept in my car. It was her birthday. It was her freaking birthday. I abandoned her. This is when I knew I really needed help. I slept in my car, and not only did I sleep in my car, but it was in the winter in Atlanta. It was a 19-degree day. You know, they be breaking into cars in Atlanta, but it was a 19-degree day, and I slept literally with 2 face masks on my face, a comforter, and maybe a pillow. I don't even know. So my fear and phobia has definitely got me through the ringer. And those are just a couple of instances. I've had so many other instances. I had my friend's big sister get a stomach virus and we had to sit in the car while she was going through it. And everybody in the dancing school got the stomach virus. It was a lot. Like, it's just, I don't even want to recount any of the other stories because y'all basically get it. But it makes me feel very, what's the word where I freeze? It's very, not polarizing, paralyzing. It's very paralyzing for me. And at this point, I'm looking for a hypnotist. because I think that I really need to like psychologically work some things out with that. So that's where I'm at right now. If anybody else has emetophobia, tap in for me, please, because I can feel very alone with this. I feel very much so like I'm on an island. Oh my God. One time, it was my 21st birthday, and you know who you are. We talk about this all the time. But my good girlfriend had gotten sick, like, because we were taking shots, and I don't even remember why she got sick, but she got sick, and instead of me being a good friend and like fucking driving her home or something, I mean, I was definitely too drunk to drive at that point, so that wasn't a possibility. But like, she got on the bus and went home, and like, even now, like, I felt so bad for her, like, but I was also like, you know, I don't like vomit, like, and I used to take it personal when people would get sick around me, like, you know, I'm scared of vomit, like as if they know like what they're doing. You don't know, you know, it's not when you know, but the only time I get mad at people is when they excessively drink, because I feel like you could have avoided that. All you have to do is fucking eat and drink water throughout the day. But that's neither here nor there. I'm just working on it. I'm too much of a compassionate person to not be able to take care of people when they're not feeling well. I literally abandon people. I literally am not a good friend when you're sick. Like, I fully acknowledge that. Yeah, I just would like to work on that. I really would. So I figured if I talk about it in this episode, then hopefully it can be healing for me and to some other people. But even like just the reaction that I feel like I have in my body now talking about it, I just feel like a little bit ashamed, you know, like a little bit embarrassed. And I never like to tell people my phobias, because I feel like people can use those against me, as people have in the past, you know, with the caterpillars and shit like that. So that's my spiel on my phobias and ways that I'm learning to grow through my phobias. But my goal in the beginning of next year is to, 1, get my wisdom teeth removed, and 2, to find a hypnotist, because I deserve to live a peaceful life where I don't have to put both hands on my fingers looking silly out in public, feeling silly. And instead, I would just like to feel peace within my body. So yeah, that's where we're at with the phobias. Y'all pray for me, okay? Pray for me, please. All right. This next segment is called I Tried to Start a Toy Company. I'm still starting the toy company, but we have some obstacles, y'all. That's the name of the segment. So you already know that there were a lot of things that motivated and inspired me to start my sex toy company. And one of them being that I feel like I use a whole bunch of different toys for a lot of different reasons. That's why I give big ups to a lot of my toys from Shop Sador, like the We Vibe Nova 2 and the Vibe Pad 2, because they're very new kinds of toys that I've never experienced before, and I want to be able to provide that experience for my love bugs as well. So the company is starting off a bit differently than my hair and skincare company did, because my hair and skincare company, I don't know if y'all know, but I've been a business owner since I was 4 years old. So I owned a business of making paper fans when I was 4, and I sold them for $1. And then when I was, I want to say 8, maybe younger than 8, but I'll say 8 right now, I had like a home decor / stationery business where I made cards and posters, and I made pocketbooks, picture frames, gel candles, wax candles. I made everything. And that's actually the money that I made from that business. Power Girl was what helped me be able to move to Atlanta. And I retired from Power Girl when I was 13. Not everybody can say, oh, I retired when I was 13, but I retired from my business when I was 13 years old. And so I kind of started Ethereal by iloveatiya a bit unconventionally, which is my hair and my skincare company. I've been in business for 5 years now, and things are legitimate. Everything's running the way that it should. But I just realized there are some more things that I really need to take care of for this company, for my sex toy company, that I might not have quite taken care of when I first started Ethereal by iloveatiya. So the obstacles that I have come up with is, 1, this is the realm of tech, right? There are only 3% of Black women in tech. Like, we only take up 3% of tech. And I think only women, all kinds of women, take up 24% of the tech world. So that is an outrageous amount of a lack of feminine presence. And so it's a little bit more of like an uphill battle. There was a guy that was supposed to kind of help me with my journey of finding like engineers and of just kind of entering the tech world. We had a really good talk. I was supposed to help him with another one of his endeavors, and ended up giving me all of these resources and articles and stuff that have been really helpful for me. But he ended up saying that he was going to help me with my company, and just with like giving me some advice, basically mentoring me. And so we set up a date to meet up. That date came. I sent him an email to say if he was still down for that date. He had to reschedule. Okay. Set up another email. another date, another meeting. Something came up, he had to reschedule. All right, I understand life happens. Third time, we tried to make a meeting. Something came up. I was like, all right, so at this point, I'm not doing an uphill battle. The only thing that made me upset about those meetings was that I had rearranged my entire life for those meetings. So it just felt like, all right, I'm not going to keep, this obviously is not for me, so I'm not going to keep trying with this person. So there was that. My Instagram for my sex toys, like I wanted to like claim the name. I still haven't done that. Wasn't able to do that, but it was because it was just taken. But it was deleted because of something. I don't even know what the problem was, but it was deleted for some reason. Like as soon as I created the entire profile, I think they said, I don't know. You know, Instagram is just petty sometimes. So they deleted my Instagram, so that was that. So it was just hard for me to like get a presence on social media, and I stopped trying that at this point. It's like everything's private. Then I was trying to get angel investors. I filled out all of the angel investor paperwork out wrong. I didn't know what any of these words meant, and I didn't know if I had any leads, or I don't know what this stuff means. So I didn't go to like specific business school for this. I just was homeschooled my whole life and did business. Like I mean, so technically I was in business school my whole life, but when it comes to like the logistical bureaucratic shit, no, I don't know what the fuck this is. So I got a lot of rejections. I got a lot of people who didn't even reply to me after I applied for an angel investor. I created a pitch deck and realized the pitch deck wasn't exactly what I needed. So a company got back to me and told me that this is what I need to do to my pitch deck. I did that. I asked the company that rejected me for some other resources and mentoring with finance, like just getting financial support for a startup. No real luck with that. I have no idea where to register my LLC because I cannot afford an LLC in New York because they try to charge $200 for a flat fee plus a yearly fee. Plus like a small business owner fee plus a filing fee plus a this, that, and they're all this shit. So now I'm trying to find out which state, but then I had to take forever to get my virtual address because I needed to get my New York ID, and I couldn't get my New York ID, so I went back to New York, so I had to wait months for that to show proof that I was who I was. So just all of these obstacles. I still don't know how to find an engineer. And yeah, these are the obstacles of starting a sex toy company. So I figured that if all of these things are being put into play, something amazing has to come from this, right? Because I've done so fucking much and I put my all into it. But that's where we are with the sex toy company. So I'll keep y'all posted. Again, if you know anything that can help me on this journey, please feel free to hit me up. I'm looking for engineers at this point because I just want to have a one-on-one talk with somebody, just be able to discuss some of the things that I see in my head logistically. And I'm looking for some grants for some tech startups. I just need like money. I need seed money. I need money to be able to do the things that I need to do. And right now I don't have that after moving out of the country and paying for food. So yeah, I'm looking forward to learning more about this journey, sharing more about this journey, but that's where I am right now. And I gotta tell y'all about how this that company that I told y'all about that I DM'd and had asked them to remove my stuff. Tell y'all about how they told me to be grateful for the fact that they stole my shit. I'll put that in another episode. But yeah, they told me to be grateful that they stole my content. So there's that. But anyways, that was just extra motivation for me to start my own shit. I was like, I could bash this company all I want and give them all the clout in the world, or I can speak up one time about them doing me dirty and then tell people, instead of like bashing this company, support me. And I'm sure that one of the people from that company probably listened to this podcast because it was on my whole jock when I was on Instagram. They watched my stories even when I wasn't following them. Even when we were going back and forth via DM and they were going off on me, they were still watching my stories. It was on some weird shit. So yeah, they're probably listening. Hey. But anyways, that's that. And now it's time for education. Let's talk about sex with your partner. It can feel so great. Don't wanna stop. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. The song was bad from the beginning, but I just didn't want to stop. All right. So let's first talk about the 70 sex questions to ask your partner. And what I was saying in the beginning of this episode is that a couple of things. One, if you don't have a partner, you can still participate in this. And I'm going to put the link to this in the description of this episode. But you can ask yourself these questions. So you can still participate in this and ask yourself these questions. And then if you do have a partner, then I recommend you practice this. If you have a partner that you've had for a long time, this may be cool because you can learn something new. But if you feel like you know all of this stuff already, you can reverse it and ask each other these questions about yourself. So for instance, if the first question is, what's your dirty sexual fantasy? Instead of that, you say, what is my dirty sexual fantasy? And then your partner can guess that. And if you have a newer partner, then this would be a great way for you to get to know each other. Or if you have an older partner and you don't know any of this stuff, then do whatever way you want to do it. All right. So this is from metro.co.uk. And it says, whether you're in the first flushes of a relationship or still just texting or know each other out inside and out, it's always fun to play a little question game. Whether it's would you rather or have you ever, there are likely still things that you and your partner don't know. And using a game is a great way to find out. Asking questions to your boyfriend or girlfriend can help connect you with them on a deeper level and start off conversations that might not have happened without a little prompt. All right. I'm so sorry, guys. I just got so distracted. Like there was just some shit about some people like who had a costume malfunction on some show, and like it gave them pain, and I was like, oh, what happened? And I got so distracted. Okay. All right, here are some questions. Wait, no. Even if not all the questions apply to you or your partner or are appropriate for your relationship, you can pick and choose and still you can pick and choose to get them having fun. I don't know what that means. Some are more flirty and on the suggestive side, while others are somewhat risque. All right, let's start off with the 70. 70 questions to ask your sexual partner. What's your dirtiest sexual fantasy? How many people have you slept with? What's the weirdest place you've had sex? What's your favorite part of your body? Should I answer some of these? Have you ever had anal? I'll just pick like 5 at the end. If you could choose what I was wearing right now, what would you choose? Where on your body is your favorite place to be touched? I'll answer the first 7. That's what I'll do. When was the last time you had a dirty dream? If you could have sex anywhere in the world, where would it be? When did you have sex for the first time? What's the best sex you ever had? Oh, that's juicy, because what if they don't say you? What if they don't say you? What's your favorite position? Have you ever been caught having sex? Do you watch porn? What kind of porn do you watch? How often do you masturbate? Name a sex position you'd like to try. Do you prefer to give or receive? What was your best orgasm ever? Do y'all want me to read the numbers with this? No. But I feel like I want to give y'all time to answer, but you're not going to answer to me, so I guess we'll figure it out. Maybe I'll put it in like a Instagram post and y'all can answer it there. Especially if you don't have a partner and you just want to participate, because I just want to do this. What was your best orgasm ever? Have you ever been skinny dipping? Have you ever slept with somebody you work with? Ooh, that's a tough one, because the answer is yes. I'd be like, oh, so I guess we're working from home then. If you were out for dinner and I said I want to have sex right now, what would you do? What would you do? Have you ever sent nudes of yourself? If you could sleep with any celebrity, who would it be? Have you had group sex? What's the most sex you've had in one day? Are you loud or quiet during sex? Have you ever tried using food during foreplay? Have you ever made a sex tape? What's your favorite thing that sexually attracts you to someone? Would you say you have any fetishes? When it comes to BDSM, how far have you or would you go? What's your favorite toy? Have you ever read erotic fiction? Have you ever joined the Mile High Club? Do you think you could take off my underwear with no hands? Would you say you're kinky? Do you enjoy shower sex? What's the weirdest place you've ever masturbated? Do you like to be spanked? What was your most embarrassing sexual experience? Have you ever fantasized about someone during sex? If I ever caught you masturbating, would you stop or would you finish? Ooh. Have you ever had an inappropriate crush? Have you ever cried or fallen asleep during sex? Oh no. Ooh, guilty shit. Do you prefer eye contact or not during sex? Do you like to kiss during sex? Do you get tired after sex? How many positions do you think you've tried? What's the longest you've ever gone without sex? How high is your sex drive? What's a surefire way to turn you on? Sex with the lights on or off? Do you like dirty talk? Have you ever had sex in a car? Do you prefer to take control or be submissive? Do you prefer one night stands or longer term sexual partners? Do you prefer to be on top or bottom? What would you like to do more of in bed? What's your favorite time of day to have sex? Rough or romantic? Quickie or marathon session? What's your favorite part of foreplay? Would you dress up for me in bed? What's your favorite place to be kissed? Do you like sexting? What's your favorite part about our sex life? What's the shortest time it's taken for you to have an orgasm? What's the longest time it's ever taken you to have an orgasm? And how would you make me have an orgasm? Oh, that's a good way to end the question. So you just get to dive into showing how. I love this. I love this. Ooh, and they got more articles. Y'all know I love me some articles. All right. So I said I was going to answer the first 7 questions. So what is my dirtiest sexual fantasy? My dirtiest sexual fantasy would be to be with a woman who like I have a thing about squirting, like who like squirts like all over, like while I'm pleasuring her. I don't care where it goes. It's just like yeah, like I would love that. With like galaxy lights on, and like she's really vocal, and like we're really passionate in the moment, and she's really beautiful. And yeah, like I just feel so comfortable in my body and blissful. Like we have like perfect aftercare, and the foreplay is beautiful, and it lasts like a really long time. And then I'm trying to think, if I had to get any other fantasy, it would probably be like a MMF threesome. But I don't like men enough to have 2 of them in the bed with me, so I guess it can't really be that right now. But I would say that I would also, a dirty fantasy of mine would be to watch someone of my choice have sex or mutually masturbate with them. That would, yeah, I can like really think of somebody right now that I would be like, yeah, definitely down for that. How many people have you slept with? If we're talking about penetrative sex, then I think the number was 7. If we're talking about penetrative sex. Let me just go about it in my mind real quick. My ex, the dude that watched the movie while we were having sex, my lesbian partner. And also, are we counting women? And I only say that because I count my lesbian partner, but I do not count the instance that I had in the car with the girl that catfished me about her race. So I'm just going to count her and not count her, if that makes sense. So, okay, my first lesbian partner, my friends with benefits, the boy that tried to stretch me out. Unfortunately, the time that I was sexually assaulted, although I didn't realize that was sexual assault. It was, anyways, that time. And then I'm sorry, I'm like, do I even want to count that as sex? But it was penetrative sex. And anyways, oh God, that's a rabbit hole to go down. And then it's Footsies. Footsies was the last person that I had sex with. Why do I have something in my eye right now? This is supposed to be uncensored. I'm not cutting, so I'll just have to do the rest of the episode with something in my eye. Did I get it out? Oh God. Okay, anyways. Yeah, Footsies was the last person I had sex with, and that was January 2022, right? Or 2020, was that 2021? No fucking way. No, that was 2022. Okay, yeah. So that was last time. So what was that? 7 people, right? Yeah, that was 7 partners. Okay. The weirdest place that I've had sex was the forest. It didn't last very long. It was just like kind of like a couple of pokes in. But it was a cool place too. Probably like the fanciest place I had sex. I haven't had sex anywhere else that I could think of that wasn't like a home, unless I'm just blocking it out. What is your favorite part of my body? All right, so I'm going to say what my favorite part of my body is. My favorite part of my body is my dimple. A couple of things came to my mind first. I actually really love my breast. So I kind of actually want to say my breast. I really, really love my breast. But my ass is getting fatter. and it's becoming heavy. Okay, it's like a wagon. But then like if I'm thinking like everything, and I was like, my smile is really beautiful. Like I love my smile, but I love my dimple as well. My smile would be just as nice without my dimple though. I don't know, but I'll say my breast for the sake of like this what we're talking about now. Um, have I ever had anal sex? No, I have not. Not yet. I would like to try it though. And if you could choose what I was wearing right now, okay, we'll skip that one because I don't know. You probably want to see me naked. But when was the last time that I had a dirty dream? Ooh, a dirty dream? Maybe like 5 months ago. I know for a fact that I had one in December, but that wasn't 5 months ago. But I don't know. I feel like I had one I just can't really remember right now. But like one that really got me going, let's just go with the one in December. So that was 10 months ago. And if I could have sex anywhere in the world, where would it be? I would like to have sex in Bora Bora. Cause it just seems very like mystical and like ethereal and like I feel like I'll be on ecstasy. Like I'll feel like I'm on ecstasy because it's just like surrounded by water and nature. Like I'd love to have sex in Bora Bora. Anywhere else in the world? That's like the main place that if I had to pick like one place, it'd be Bora Bora. All right, yay, that was so fun. All right, now the other thing I wanted to read to y'all was about the sensate focus touch that we were talking about in the last episode. And this is just some like statistics. They talk about they quoted everything that we talked about in the last episode, so I don't really have to necessarily reread everything. And I think they gave us some exercises as well that we can do. And if not, then that would be a waste of an article. And this will also help once again for our dissociating and stuff like that. All right. So in conclusion, I hope that those 70 questions to ask your partner are helpful, and I'm very excited to get a partner. And when I have a partner, I'll be able to do the exercise with them. But until then, I'm excited to do it by myself. So yay. All right. Reject. Sorry. Like accept or reject. I don't fucking know. This is the ultimate guide to sensate focused therapy. And in the last episode, we talked about how non-goal oriented touch can help us get more in our bodies, especially when it comes to being with our partners and having a bit of sexual anxiety. And so in this is an article from blueheart.io, written by Sophie Browness and reviewed by Dr. and Catherine Pertline. Did you know that after just 2 weeks of sensate focused therapy with Blueheart, people feel, oh, they do this themselves. Got it. Okay. Well, people felt 105% more satisfied with the amount of physical intimacy between partners, 72% more physically connected, and 70% more satisfied with the amount of touch between partners. But what is sensate focus and how does it help you regain your libido? All right. So I'm actually not, I'm not like, this is not an ad for this company or whatever they do. I've never participated with them before, but I did just come across their article. It says your libido can change for many reasons, including a difference in sexual peaks. Factors such as lifestyle, hormones, stress, low self-esteem, that's interesting, anxiety, depression, or concerns about body image or sexual performance. If you found that you and your partner are having issues regarding sexual intimacy, you may feel stressed and a little worried about what to do. Fortunately, sensate focused therapy can help you with this type of therapy. You and your partner can start figuring out what works best for the both of you, what you enjoy and what you find stimulating. So how does it work and how can you use it? In this guide, we'll answer these questions and more. Finally, you and your partner can feel like you're more on the same page again. And then it basically says, just to reiterate what sensate focus is, sensate focus therapy is a sex therapy technique that utilizes touching exercises so sexual partners can reduce any negativity or anxiety that they associate with sexual intimacy. Additionally, this type of therapy improves communication between sexual partners. It's a series of mindful touch exercises designed to reduce sexual anxiety and provide opportunities for you to explore your own and your partner's bodies. By focusing only on the sensations you feel, you learn to get out of your head and into the moment, which gives your body space to respond naturally. Usually, a sex therapist will work with a couple or an individual over time so that the couple can complete exercises over the course of a few months. They're given the exercises to do at home, sometimes alone, sometimes together. They mentioned the two doctors that we talked about, Dr. Johnson and Masters from the other article. And they say that Sensate Focus is a combination of exposure therapy, teaching you to associate good, relaxing experiences with touch, sex, and your partner, and mindfulness, focusing the mind away from distracting thoughts, and Sensate Touch, mindfully touching the body, thinking only about the texture, temperature, and pressure you feel. And then they say, I don't necessarily feel like we need to look up if it works. Oh, this is interesting. It says Sensate Focus can help cure erectile dysfunction. Erectile dysfunction is a common problem that affects millions of men. It's probably why y'all are so fucking angry. It's not something you want to have, but it doesn't need to be a life sentence either. There are many treatments available for erectile dysfunction, and one of them is Sensate Focus Therapy. This treatment has been shown to improve the quality of your sex life by helping you become more aroused during sexual activity. The goal of SFT is to help patients learn to enjoy sex again. By learning to control their arousal level, patients will also be able to increase their confidence and their ability to achieve an erection. The good news is that this treatment can be performed at home or in the doctor's office. You don't even need to leave your house. But what I will say is that if you're still drinking milk or dairy products, you're bound to have ED at some point or continue your ED that you're currently experiencing. So feel free to do the research. I'm not trying to be insensitive, but drinking milk and consuming dairy definitely does affect your prostate, your hormones, your testosterone, as a woman and as a man. And I know that milk is like one of the leading causes of breast cancer because of all of the hormones that they pump into the cows, and all the antibiotics and all of the just bad shit that they are literally pumping into cows before they are milking and getting the pus-filled milk from their pus-filled udders. So with that being said, I just say that milk is a devil and it's not good for anybody and anybody's sexual performance. So just keep that in mind. They say Sensate Focus can help you cure performance anxiety, but they're not really saying like what to do. Like the last episode, we were able to talk about what to do. And okay, here we go. Sensate Focus exercises. Now that we review the different steps to make up Sensate Focus Therapy, we'll review some Sensate Focus exercises. These include exercises designed for individuals and couples. Let's review these now. You can start alone and introduce your partner later, or be in it together from the start. Sensate Focus exercises for individuals. Some prefer to start off alone before introducing their partner into the Sensate Focus program. It's beneficial to involve your partner, if you have one, in the process early on, as they can help you get through the course. However, if you feel more anxious or you feel the need to work on yourself first, there are plenty of exercises to work on so you can get back in touch with your body. The other thing I was gonna say is that, what was I gonna say? Oh no, I forgot. Okay, whatever. We'll come back to that. Sensate Focus exercises for couples. So I guess basically if you're an individual, you just do this for yourself. Sensate Focus exercises for couples usually involve the steps that we covered earlier and in our last episode. That said, there are a variety of exercises to which these principles are applied. A nice exercise you might start with is to sit together for 5 or 10 minutes and try the touch exercise with only touching each other's arms and hands. It might feel silly or ticklish, but that's okay. It's a skill that you learn with practice. You'll experiment with texture, pressure, and temperature to get a variety of sensations to train your brain to notice them and find what you enjoy and don't. Here's one example of an exercise that will come much later in your plan that covers genital touching. The exercise is all about texture awareness. The giver, when they are touching their partner, should notice what the texture of their partner's skin is like in different areas of the body. How does the texture vary? When touching the neck, calves, hands, and cheeks. By doing this, the giver is focused on the sensual, not the sexual. Not thinking about whether they're doing a good job, just noticing how they feel in their fingertips or what they feel in their fingertips. On the other hand, the receiver should note how the feel of touch varies in their partners what? Oh, as their partner explores their body parts. Another couple's exercise involves mutual touching. At this point, the couple will have practiced the other steps and are very much in tune with their sensory reactions to the touch of their partners. Try this exercise in a creative way. You can use each other's body parts. You could use other body parts than your hands. You won't be using it to physically please your partner. Instead, both of you will be touching non-sensual parts of each other's body. Ooh, I wonder if that means you could touch your, like, use your lips and shit like that. Another exercise couples can try out is to change the environment of the sensual activity. For example, instead of doing the exercise in the bedroom, they can move to the shower or on the couch or in the living room. This will allow them to change perspective, understanding their sensual feelings in a new way. Okay. Sensate focus techniques, sex therapy with sensate focus. You know what's interesting is that I was, oh good, how to get out of your head during sex. Yeah, we need to read that next. I was thinking about so much about being the receiver and like about being in my, like out of my head, in my body, feeling the touch, that I didn't even think about, like, if I was a toucher, like how would I want to, you know what I'm saying? Like what am I getting from that besides just like being connected to my partner? But I didn't even think about how connected I'd have to be for real, out of my head. Because when thinking about being the toucher, I got so much anxiety. Like, oh, well, what if I go over the same spot twice? Or what if I'm caring more about like my person's ridges and holes and bumps and texture. And if I'm thinking about, oh, I'm touching them tight here. I'm touching them loose here. I'm touching them soft here. I'm touching them hard here. Like, if I think more about that and really making an experience, I guess the goal is to not make it feel like you have to get it right or wrong, you know? There are certain things in sex that you can get uncomfortable. You know, that's where communication comes in. And I feel like we're not, and even me when I speak sometimes, like, I don't necessarily give people a chance to make a mistake. Like, my ex came into our relationship seeming like he knew everything about women's bodies. And I had to tell him, like, no, I've never come with you. And I don't think the people who told you that they've come with you have come either. Because this is not, what you're doing is not for me. I think that my approach is probably a lot different than that. But my point is that I would like to practice being able to make mistakes, allow myself to make mistakes in sex, allow my partner to make mistakes. But I think the venom comes in once I comment on the mistake, even more than twice, like more than once. Okay, I get it. You might have already been in a loop. I'll give you the amnesty and tell you, okay, this is your gentle reminder for the second time. I don't like this. If I have to remind you more than twice, it's a wrap. You literally don't give a fuck about me. You don't care. Nope. You don't care. This is random, but I was thinking about like my ads and stuff like that I do on the podcast, and I don't want them to feel like ads. So I'm gonna make a song, and here's my song. Heaven high gets you high, and oh, I see we're smoking weed 'cause it's legal there. But in the places that it's not, they might happen slow, like Georgia. What the fuck is you doing, ho? That's why Heaven High NYC ships their products. They here make all their candies and their brownies and their cookies and their gummies and all their, I don't know if they make the gummies, but they make all that other stuff handmade, and everything else is really good and handmade, but I love everything that they make, and their gummies are vegan. So head to Heaven High NYC and order your today. First of all, I didn't even finish the website. Get to high. No, now I'm fucking it up. Get to heavenhighnyc.com and order yours today. Don't forget to mention iloveatiya and tell them that I said, hey. And now the song for Imani Jewelry. Imani. If you want to wear earrings that don't look alike, if you want to make bitches say, oh my God, that is a bomb ass pair of earrings. If you want to wear chokers, if you want to wear ankles, if you want to wear something in your hair, that's why you got ImaniJewelry.com. They'll get you there. For my fashionistas. I'm sorry. I got something in my eye. I couldn't finish the song. All their products are handmade. All their products are made with love. So be sure to head to ImaniJewelry.com and use the code LOVEATIYA for 10% off. Why am I not my My eyes are literally burning. All right, that's what we're gonna do. I'm not done with my songs. I have one more. Shop, shop's the door. If you wanna feel an orgasm, if you wanna feel some toys in your body, then you head to Shop's the Door. They're black owned and women owned, and all the toys are fucking amazing. I can't wait to get my other one in November. Head to shopsthedoor.com and get your toys today and use the code LOVEATIYA for 15% off of your order. God, guys, that was so bad. It's 444, so I'm gonna take that as a sign from the universe to stop. Okay, I'm gonna try. Maybe I'll really make up jingles though, and it's like input them throughout the show. Cause I would love to have a jingle for my own show. Okay. The last part, or the last thing we're gonna talk about in the last 15 minutes is how to get out your head during sex, and this is for those who dissociate or are just in their heads. You might be present, but you're just in your head. Ooh, and how to stop spectatoring. Oh shit. All right, let's do this. How to get out your head during sex. An issue that many people deal with when they struggle with sexual intimacy is that they can't seem to get out of their heads. This is especially the case if you have any anxiety around sex, whether that's a fear of not being able to please their partner or some other reason. It's really common to think about very mundane things such as to-do lists, work, or groceries while you are trying to concentrate on having sex. This, of course, can get in the way of your arousal and desire, and therefore pleasure. One of the best ways to get out of your head during sex is to practice mindfulness. When you're mindful of what's going on in your physical body, you let go of thoughts that are weighing you down. This is why the mindfulness aspect of sensate focus therapy is so effective. By focusing on the sensations you feel when you are touching or being touched by your partner, you're living completely in that present moment. It's also a good idea to face the thoughts that distract you during sex. Notice them and let them go. The most common intrusive thoughts people experience while having sex are performance anxiety, things that they need to do the day or the week of, and insecurities about their body. By going to a sex therapist, you can address these issues, finding out what their root causes are and finding ways to treat them. Practicing mindfulness even outside of the bedroom. It's also helpful to understand these issues. By taking in your thoughts and feelings, or even just 10 minutes a day, you'll become more practiced in mindfulness. This will help you address many of your worries and anxieties that distract you during sex. I love that. Yeah, mindfulness, definitely. I would love to meditate before sex. I would love that. Have I ever done that with somebody before? No, I don't think I have. The closest I probably came was like having really good conversations with my friends with benefits back in the day, but otherwise, no, we've never like straight up meditated. And then lastly is how to stop spectatoring. When you're spectatoring, I hope I am saying this right, during sex, you aren't able to enjoy the intercourse you're having because you feel overly conscious. You might feel this way about yourself, how your partner sees your body when you're having sex, or about your partner. Usually your head is full of distractions, thoughts, or internal dialogue that's critical. You aren't able to be in the moment. Instead, you're insistently judging yourself or analyzing the sexual situation. By engaging in this behavior, you might end up experiencing sexual dysfunction or anxiety. People who have spectator sex have a larger number of fake orgasms, fewer real ones, and have less satisfaction in the bedroom. Fortunately, there is a solution to spectatoring during sex. You have to practice mindfulness. To do this effectively, you can't focus on goals such as reaching a climax or looking sexy. Instead, you have to use a sensation-oriented process. Start by getting in touch with your body on your own. Explore every area of your body as if it's the first time, noticing what your body feels like, how it moves when you breathe. While doing this, pay close attention to both your physical and emotional feelings. If you climax, continue to pay attention to how you feel. Over time, you can start to apply this to when you're having sex with your partner. However, keep in mind that you won't solve the spectatoring issue overnight. You have to practice. This form of mindfulness that was created especially for this issue is called sensate focus. What's so crazy, y'all, I can't even lie, is while I was reading that, I low-key started dissociating. I was like, what the fuck are they talking about? it's just about mindfulness. It's about being in the moment. And I guess if that's something that I struggle with in my everyday life, then of course I would struggle with that sexually. So that definitely makes sense. So I won't be too hard on myself. But, my therapist and I have been talking a lot about like dissociating, where that started, why it started, why I do it, and how to not rely on that as much. It's nothing that I want to necessarily stop. Sometimes I really do need to dissociate, like when that guy was throwing up at the party. But another times I would very much like to be connected, and I think that my body is just like an automatic thing now, especially with sex and sexual anxiety. And I also want to work on, like, even for my sex toy company, one of the things that I pride myself on is that we do a lot of talk about aftercare. And that's some of the things that I'm really building my company on. And I really want to make sure that I work on that as well. We can talk about that in the next episode too. Just like that feeling, there's a like an actual thing to where when you have sex, there are endorphins that go up and go down. Your endorphin levels change, and there's a chemistry in your body that changes to where once sex is done, you really do need to rehabilitate those good feelings within your body and that energy you just exuded. So I want to talk more about that, because that definitely makes sense. Some people have like regrets after sex, or just feel empty or lonely or judgmental or whatever that feeling is that you feel. It's usually probably like a serotonin or oxytocin, something's out of whack. It just needs to be corrected again, which is why cuddling is great after sex and aftercare of all forms. So we're going to talk about that. But another just tidbit that I'd like to also include for this is I was asked on my Instagram some ways that we can get better, some ways that men can get better with intimacy. And I'd like to talk about that in general in the next episode, but I just want to highlight eye gazing and breath work. We're going to dive more deep into different ways of doing breath work and eye gazing, but I definitely recommend that. It's very helpful for doing that to yourself, practicing breath work with yourself, eye gazing with yourself, and then also practicing that with a partner. Sounds very simple, but it's actually a little bit intimidating depending on who your partner is, and can get really intense. So I think it's best to do it with yourself so you can feel really comfortable, and then for you and your partner to do it alone and then do it together. So yeah, that's my episode on Sensate Focus. We basically hit this in 2 episodes, so I love that for us. I love that we talked about my fears and phobias, and I got to get transparent with y'all, a little bit of vulnerable, and I'm so excited for our next episode too. So stay tuned. If you have not followed this podcast page, please follow so you can stay up to date with when we post. Thank you so much for the 5.5 star rating. Like, are you kidding me? I have not asked for anybody to send me a rating, but everybody's been rating me, and we're at 5.5 or we're at 5 stars. So thank you so much for all of your love and support, and for loving me through everything, all the trials and tribulations, turbulence. But thank you for loving me as my silly, goofy self, and I'm so excited to see where this podcast goes with y'all. I'm having so much fun, and I can't wait to come back in another episode. So stay tuned for that. We have some really major things. Oh my god, y'all, I'm so pissed. I don't even know, is this still recording? Hello, it's me. Yeah, okay, we're recording. Check 1, check 2. Let me see if I can hear myself. Nope, I can't hear myself. I don't even know what's happening. Anyways, my technology tried to fuck me up, and that's what I'm talking about, them trials and tribulations. I'm very grateful for them, because that's how I know, as I said before, I don't know if it caught this, but I'm going to be very successful because of all these trials and tribulations. I swear, I spoke this shit up because it's like, oh, you said trials and tribulations, bitch. But anyways, if you are interested in self-care, this is your last chance to order this year from my self-care company. It is a vegan and cruelty-free hair and skincare company. It's called Ethereal by Loveatiya. And I do seasonal shipments with my products since I have officially moved out of the country and don't currently have a shipper in the US. So whenever I'm back in the country is when I'm able to ship your beautiful products out to you. But everything is handmade, made with love. They are all, like I said, vegan and cruelty-free. Everything is handmade by me, and everything is made with all natural ingredients, including jojoba oil, turmeric oil, rosehip seed oil, aloe, what else? Castor oil, pumpkin seed oil, every kind of oil and item or ingredient that comes from the earth, including my love. Rose water, everything. I use everything that has helped me clear up my skin and help me grow my hair. I know I shaved my head recently, but that helped me grow my hair into having a healthy head of hair. It's all from my line of products. So yeah, feel free. If you struggle with hyperpigmentation, I recommend my Ethereal Razul Clay Mask and my serum and my revitalizing cleanser and rose water. And if you struggle with balding, I recommend my rose water and my Ethereal hair growth oil and all that good stuff. I recommend a lot. So head to loveatiya.com/ethereal Y'all, what the fuck? Why am I losing my mind? Okay, head to theloveatiya.com/ethereal and place your order today. I love you so much. I thank you for all of your support. And if you have any questions about what to order, feel free to DM me. Mwah. Besos, besos, besos. And I don't know if you heard this before in the other part, but if you did or did not, give yourself a hug for me, please. I don't know if it stopped recording at that part. All right. Thank you. Don't forget to be kind to yourself and be kind to animals. I love you.